Hi, Helton.
Hello.
I'm just starting up the live. We're going live on YouTube, and you get access to the link here. I'll give you the link.
Where? Just
So you
remember that I'm using my cell phone.
send you on the chat and on WhatsApp too.
WhatsApp is better. Let me see. YouTube. Okay, we will be in. Okay. I think I don't need to go to YouTube.
No, we don't. I'll be seeing the comments here. And in case you have any questions, I'll let you know. I'm just also copying the links onto your groups so you can join us.
Let me open here.
Coffee is ready. Wow, what a saga to get internet here. I'm so happy that it's finally working. Luke is here. Hi, Lucas. In case you have any questions, just let us know. Okay, Helton, so I sent you a couple of questions for us to go through. Like, just telling us the story, right? Like, so how everything happened. Like, tell us about how you first got in touch with this German company you work for. If I'm not mistaken, it's called Clipping Horses, right?
Clip My Horse.
Clip My Horse, okay.
Yeah.
And you work for this company, and they invited you to move to Germany. Like, how? Like, tell us a story.
Okay. Can I start?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. It started a few years ago when I decided to live abroad for a while. And yeah, I always had the desire to live abroad, but these last couple years, I decided to focus to keep focusing in how to get a job abroad, and I kind of started to looking for what I needed to improve before to started to apply for some opportunities. So at first, I saw a lot of opportunities and the requirements inside of the opportunities, like which technology they are using and which kind of technology should I improve and so on. So I decided to improve my professional skills first. And after that, when I realized that my skills are good enough to get a job abroad, and of course get a good job here in Brazil. At first, I got a good job here in Brazil, and then I saw that it's the time to try something abroad, and I saw that I needed to improve a lot my English conversation before to apply. So I started to have some private classes with some teachers all around Brazil, and few 6 months later, I started to apply for some opportunities. I applied for more than 15 opportunities, I guess. And
like on LinkedIn?
LinkedIn and Stack Overflow and some others websites only for jobs.
I see.
And there is a lot of groups in Slack, Telegram, WhatsApp that a lot of people who live abroad work for uh, 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 um, companies in other countries. They kind of send some opportunity in those groups, and they can take a look and see if the requirements match with my skills.
I see.
So my first 2 interviews were terrible because I couldn't understand anything.
Wow.
because my English was terrible, and I kind of paused to apply again, and I started to improve my English more and more. When I felt more comfortable to have a conversation, I started again. But that time, I kind of chose which countries I want to move.
Mm.
Like I choose German. I choose UK, Unity Kingdom,
Yeah, United Kingdom.
United Kingdom, yes, Ireland. What else? Holland, and there is one more. I don't remember. So I look for jobs in those countries, and I start to apply. I had some interviews, I had some process, some tests, but that one for me was better because a Brazilian guy is a CTO in that company. So for me, it was easier to have a conversation with him.
I
His
see.
English is much better to understand. I think that is a positive point for me because his English is like my, with accent, and it
Yeah.
was easier to understand. So I had all process. I have the first interview. I had the practical test where I needed to create some challenge or something like that. After that, I have a call with a German guy asking some question regarding technologies I used, why I built my test that way, and so on. And after that, I
That
had
was
a
before you
call.
were hired.
Yes. And after that, I had a call with CTO, not CTO, CEO, and only for him to know a little bit more about me and why I want to move, what I like to do, and why I want to work in that company, for how long I want to work, and a lot of questions like that. More personal questions. So after 4 or 5 steps of process, I received the offer, and the offer for me was good because this offer I could get the visa work. So
Work visa.
for me it
Right.
was very good.
Wow. Interesting. So now, how long have you been working for this company so far?
uh at now I think 1 year and a half or something like that.
A year and a half. So now they invited you to
Yeah,
move to Germany.
yeah. The idea was start to work remotely, and with the time I think, of course, the company kind of make a test with me if my skills match with what they need and try to solve some problems. And after that, they said to me that I could try to apply for the visa process. So the idea was to start it to apply for the visa process at the beginning of the year, but because of the coronavirus situation, I kind of postponed it. And a few months ago, I started again, and now everything is done. I think it's ready. The only thing that I need to do is buy the tickets.
Oh, great. We even talked, Lucas has a question here, but before we address that, we talked to Viviana yesterday. She's a Brazilian tunnel engineer living in Germany, sorry, in Australia. And she knows everything about the IELTS and about getting a visa. She explained to us like the career they have to follow regarding getting a work visa or a permanent resident visa and everything. And also, she enlightened us on something called sponsorship visa. Like it's when you get a visa that you don't have to apply yourself, the company does it for you. So what was your kind? Did you have to apply yourself or they sponsored you?
For Germany, we apply everything here in Brazil. And of course, we need a lot of documents from the German. And the company said to me that everything I need from Germany, they would send to me. And the rest of the documents that I need here in Brazil, I need to solve by myself. So I sent document to German, and I waited almost 2 months. The document arrived here again, and the company sent to me more documents. And after that, I put together all documents here in Brazil, and I make appointment in the visa in consulate in Recife.
I see. So you went there.
Yes, me, my wife, and the son, the baby.
Oh, all of you went there.
Yes.
Baby had to
Yeah.
sign off. The baby
Yeah.
was like, yeah, we can go.
For my baby, me and my wife, we needed to sign for the baby. Uh, my wife and the baby, they could make all this process in German, but because of the corona situation, they can't go there
Hmm.
because anyone can go there without a specific permission like visa work or blue card. So kind of we saw that right now it's almost impossible. She and he goes to the German in this situation. So we decided to make our process here first. So I contacted the consulate guy. I asked all doubts about the documentations related to them, and after that we traveled to Recife and did the interview.
I see. So Lucas has a question here. Actually, it's just a comment. The interesting fact is that Elton hasn't chosen the more common destinations like the US or Canada. Before you comment on that, Annie has a question too. What do you do, Elton? And this is
Oh,
important because
yeah.
like you did introduce yourself, right? So
Okay.
first you can introduce yourself so people know your context, and
Okay.
also you can comment on why you chose Germany, right? But you comment
Okay.
on that.
I'm Elton. I work as software developer for more than 7 years, I guess. Yep. I have a degree in analysis system, and I work for two companies, one here in Brazil and another one in Germany. As I work remotely, full time remotely, so I have time to work for more than one company for me. So there is no problem. Of course, my area helped a lot to apply for opportunity, because all around the world had opportunity in IT technology, IT areas. So for me, it was very good.
And do you think you'll still be able to work for both companies when you move to Germany?
I'm all my life as software developer, I have worked in more than one company. I have my full job and I have a part-time job.
Mm.
Uh, a lot of people choose to work full time and their free time using to study new technology, doing things that they like. And I am a guy that I need to be in a situation to learn new things. So I thought I can get a small job, a extra job with different technology that I want to learn. So I will learn new technology and I will receive for that. I will be paid for that.
Totally.
So for me, it's perfect. Yeah. So all my life I have been working like that way.
So you'll keep on doing that.
Yeah. For a
Okay.
while it's okay. But I'm not sure because now I have a baby, so I need to take some time for him and help my wife, and so it's
I
a
have
little
another
more
job,
complicated.
right? Like
Yeah.
I even heard that quote from a guy who talks about raising children. That raising a child is the most important job like a person can have. But
Yeah.
still, we hardly ever prepare for that. We don't study for that job, We just find out in the process, and it's
Yeah.
not for you to prepare and understand how a baby works and how to raise a person.
Yeah. Every day we learn something new that you have never imagined, in your entire life. So sometimes it's varied, but sometimes it's amazing.
Yeah. So Lucas has a question here. Lucas Souza, he is a developer. He is the founder of ScienceBug, and he recently started working remotely for a company abroad. So maybe it's the next step, and he wants to learn from you. So, Helton, could you give some tips for developers that want to work abroad, how to search for work, and how to prepare yourself for interviews?
Okay, there is some courses where you can do for prepare yourself, But what I did was I started to see some requirements in opportunities, Is- Example, a company from Canada, they need, I don't know, JavaScript. So I saw that the most part of the company needs some experience with JavaScript. So I decided to study this technology, and I look another opportunity and choose a new technology to study or something like that, and try every time to improve a little bit more my professional skills. That was what I did. And when I saw that all my skills match with the most part of the opportunities that I saw, I started to apply for those opportunities. But one thing that is very important is your English. As you can see, my English not so good, but I good enough to have a comfortable conversation with the team. So at first it was a little frustrating to me because I started to talk with people and I couldn't understand anything. But when I realized that I was getting everything that the people was saying, and I was having a normal conversation, and everyone was understanding what I was trying to say. So that's the amazing feeling, So that's the thing that makes you to try to improve a little bit more every day.
I see.
So that's two things what I did before to start to apply. I saw what the company needs and started to learn those technology, and of course my English.
I see. And I want to mention that you are part of the coffee club, so you are working on your English
Yeah,
with
now
us.
I'm working and improve a little bit more with you, and yeah, it's so good.
And yeah, like about speaking English, sometimes I take it for granted. When I think of, like, I'm a digital nomad, so I work from anywhere, and I do want to move to other countries soon. And when I mention the idea for some people, I realize how language can be a barrier, because it's not a barrier for me, at least for the countries that I want to visit. But for most people, they're gonna, but I don't know any English. I cannot move to Canada or to the US out of nowhere like this without speaking the language.
Mhm.
So once you have that dealt with, and you can have a comfortable conversation in English, or a confident conversation in English, as we like to call, uh, like, just think of the next step. Like, where should I go? We don't think about, oh, I'm gonna go to a Spanish speaking country because it's gonna be easier. Oh, I'm gonna go to Portugal or to another, like, Portuguese speaking country. You can just go anywhere, and you'll be able to have this tool to communicate to virtually anyone, right? Vanessa has a question here. Vanessa Maran, she is the community manager for the coffee club, and she's an administrator as well. She has been to Australia before, and she will be giving a talk tomorrow on Friday at the same time, 12:30, about financial planning to live abroad. I believe she didn't use a travel agency or anything. She just planned everything herself and went to Australia out of nowhere. So she has experience in that. And she's moving to Turkey next month. So she's doing it again. Now, Helton, what are you expecting from organizational behavior in culture? What do you think there will be different comparing to work with Brazilians?
Uh, to be honest, in the company for me, there is no difference. Here in Brazil, sometimes we work better, and sometimes we work better in the company from Germany. I don't know, in other countries, there is no problem. The only difference is the language. The language is the most difficult part for who don't speak English, you know. That is the problem. But here in Brazil, we have a lot of good professionals. And that's why a lot of companies from Europe or US or Canada are looking for professionals here in Brazil because we have good professionals, you know. Uh, the only point that make totally difference is what you want. You know, I always wanted to live abroad for not forever, you know, but I want to live abroad for a while, for a time, I don't know, and maybe in some years come back to Brazil. For me, there is no problem. But since I put that idea in my mind, I kind of keep focusing what I wanted, you know. So I saw that I needed to improve my English, and I am here improving my English until I got that specific job in German. So
I see. So you didn't feel any difference in culture?
no, no. Inside of the company, no. Of course, in the country there is a lot of difference, you know. But in the main one, the main difference is the language. I have no idea how to speak German, you know. I even know how to say hi in German or good morning. I don't know. So
Guten Morgen.
it's a little it's a
I believe
huge
like
challenge
somebody
for me.
say good day, like Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, yes, Guten Tag is good morning. Yes. Uh, I think that's the only thing I know. Ich, ich, or something like that, that I have no idea what it is.
I,
But I saw the guys saying all the time.
you can say like ich,
Uh, yeah.
those stuff, those like I am.
So for me, the main challenge is the language, you know, because I know a little bit of English. My wife knows a little bit of English as well, and not, we we don't know nothing about German.
But you
So
learn it when you're there.
yeah, yeah. The company will pay German class for me, and my wife will start to learn German as well. And of course, the main reason we will learn German is because of our baby. You know, our baby will start to
Yeah, I was
study
gonna
there.
ask you, because like
Yeah,
you'll be like almost a German baby, like
exactly.
you'll
And
be
of course,
very hard.
we need to know German to help him with the work school work.
You have the
Or
homework.
homework, yes, from school. So for me, yeah, for me, I think that is the main challenge, you know. So we are kind of prepare our mind for that in the next year.
I see. I suggest that you start with Duolingo. It doesn't teach you everything, but it teaches you a lot about common phrases and how to say useful useful constructions that you can use for different things, like common verbs like to eat, like to walk, to drink, and everything. So you can start
Exactly.
communicating. And
Yes,
also,
yes, yes.
one of the main benefits of Duolingo, in my view, is the way it teaches you grammar in an intuitive way. You start like by just repeating the phrases. You start just understanding how things are supposed to be written without necessarily going like, for example, I'm
Yes,
studying Italian. I don't have to go like io mangio, tu mangi, ella mangia. I just by repetition I know all of them already, just because I see them everywhere. So it really
exactly.
helps you.
Exactly. I studied a little English using Duolingo. For me, it was good. Sometimes I felt a little frustrated because repeat a lot of time the phrase, you know. So, but I think this is very important because that way you will learn a lot.
Yeah. So I do one lesson a day, and it really advances me. Like sometimes I do one or maximum two, but just consistency will help you and give you a base. So when you're there, you know like a bit of how it sounds, of how things are constructed, so you can build off a base instead of from scratch.
Yeah.
So let me see if you have another question. Guys, do you have any other questions for Helton? We have asked you about the preparation. So tell me about your wife. How is she? Like, you told me she's learning German. She's preparing to go with you. Like, what are her feelings regarding this?
Uh, I think this desire to move to another country is only for my part, you know. I think she wants to do that, but no, she wants to do that, but not the same way I want, you know. So that's a thing that's hitting my mind every time, you know, because but she kind of uh, realized the situation here in Brazil and regarding the quality of life and the culture, the security, a lot of things that we can achieve in other country, you know. So, and of course, we can go, stay for a while, and we came back. I think it's better we try this experience than we never try this experience, you know. How many people here in Brazil want to have the same experience, want to have the same opportunity to live abroad for a while, and they couldn't go, they can't go. So for us, it's a kind of very good experience that we will have
I
there.
see. I like that thinking. Like, it's better to go and see that it's not good enough or it's bad for you and come back,
Yeah,
than to not go and regret forever not having gone, right?
exactly. She will not lose her job. We will have our apartment here. So everything will be the same, you know.
Does she
And
work?
of course,
Does she work remotely?
no, she's professional teacher here in three states.
I see.
State,
She's a public
state
teacher.
teacher. Yes, public teacher. Yes, perfect.
I see. So
So
she
she will
uh,
kind of, yes, kind of, I don't know what to say that, but she will apply for kind of pause her job. I don't know how to express that in English.
leave
Yes,
to apply for a
yes,
leave.
exactly. And she can stay away for 2 years, and after that, more 2 years. So we have 4 years to decide
Oh,
what to do.
long time. Your baby will be German by then.
Yeah.
Annie has a question here. Annie is a chemical engineer. She also plans to study and work abroad, and she's doing a master's degree now in Campinas, and she wants to go to probably Canada. So she's saying, I want to do my PhD in Canada. I think the most difficult part, once I am there, will be academic writing in English, because my job as a scientist is published a good paper about my research. So I'm trying to improve that. Annie, we should set up some mentoring sessions so I can help you with that. Give you some tasks to complete. I have dealt a lot with scientific writing because I'm a translator. So I translate scientific papers, so, and I can help you with that. Do you have any demand for writing, Helton? Like, or is basically speaking, you need to write?
No, basically speaking.
I see. English is already a kind of common language within the developing world, right? So
Yeah.
I've seen sometimes we are talking about something and we see a new word and I comment on that word and you say, oh, I know that word. I just didn't know what it meant. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know
exactly.
words, you know how to use them in the context, but sometimes you know the meaning, right?
Yeah. I every time I saw new words and I saw this one a few days ago, but I don't remember. So I kind of try to write down and try to read every time, read a little bit every day these new words. You know, that way I will keep in my mind and you can use in my vocabulary when I have a conversation.
Yeah. I think I showed you guys all you guys this, but making lists is what helps me learn languages the most. So like this is my list for Italian. It has 124 items in Spanish, and Portuguese is very tiny. I should start writing more Portuguese words. French, And English is the longest, like I'm always learning more
The
English
big
words.
one.
So like keeping a list of words, and I rarely, this is not correct, but I rarely come back to them. I rarely reread my list. However, by just writing down your words, you show your brain that they are important, and it keeps alert. Like whenever it shows up again in a TV show or in a book or in a film, it's just, hey, you've seen this before. So it's the second time you see that, so you better remember that because it might be useful.
Yeah.
Showing up more than once. So this is how our brain works, like by repetition. And just by writing down once, and not even looking back at it, the likelihood of remembering it is way higher than if you don't write it.
Exactly. It's like I have a notebook somewhere here, but I don't know remember where I put it. There I put some words and some phrases related to that word, And example, few times per week I go there and I saw the word, I did close my eyes and try to remember this word, try to use this word in some context or something like that. When I forget, I open my eye and they see all phrases, and they create new phrase and they pass to the new word. And they try to do that few times per week. That sometimes help a lot.
I see.
Of course, and everything that I have here is English. Uh, um, the movies and the series that I'm watching is in English and subtitle in English. My notebook, my cell phone, my video games, everything is English. So that helped a lot.
Yeah, mine I'm French because I'm always trying to get this contact with French, but it's always great to change your devices to the language that you want to practice or learn.
Exactly.
Something else that I use a lot is Google Assistant, mainly to learn synonyms. For example, when I'm talking about a topic, I don't like to be repeating the same word over and over again. So I just ask Google, hey Google, what's another way to say sunset?
Here are some synonyms for sunset: nightfall, close of day, twilight, dusk, evening.
So I just, sunset is such a common word. I would never think of calling it something else. But then now I know that I can call it nightfall or twilight or dusk or evening or half light or end of day, and that enriches your speech when you're talking about something.
That is one thing that I do a lot. Every time that when I see a new word, I try to see what is this word the same time, because if I let it for later, I will forget to check. So the same time when I see, I copy and paste in the Google Translate, and I see the translation and some phrase that I can use this new word. So that is helping a lot.
I would encourage you to see mainly the definition. You see the definitions first, and then on Google, you also see the translation at the end just to confirm. Sometimes the translation doesn't give you like a bird's eye view of why that word is used. For example, recently you were having a mentoring session and we were researching. You searched how to say engarrafamento in English. Yes. And then you found bottle, which is garrafa in English. And even though we can say bottleneck for this, the most common term is traffic jam. So it's a different thing.
Yes.
So by searching for the definition, in that case, you couldn't search for the definition. You just have to see the other translations. In Google Translate, you see one translation, and there are many other translations below that. So check the others and confirm them by seeing the definition,
And sometimes Google show you a specific translation, but it's not the most common used. So it's better you see more different translation for that specific thing you want.
Okay, but coming back to the topic, if no one has any other question, I want to ask you about the baby. How do you prepare a baby for an international trip?
Okay. The idea is
His name is Joaquim, right?
Joaquim, yes.
Joaquim.
In there, in German, the guy's called Joaquim. At first, I will move alone, and after 2 months, my wife, yes, after 2 months, my wife and baby go move. Yeah, I will do that first because I will try to prepare everything. Example, try
Housing.
to know where I can buy the thing, the baby's things. Try to get a permanent local to live. Example, an apartment or a house, and try to buy the first things. The baby's room, the baby's rooms, furnitures, and the rest of the things that we will need at first. And after that, my wife goes to with the baby. So, and of course, we are right now we are going to the doctor and try to make every exams that we can do right now. To check if everything is okay with me, with my wife and the baby. And yeah, that's it.
I see. Great. So like she's gonna take the baby on her lap, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't get a specific like exclusive seat.
No, she's so young, 1 year.
1 year old. I see.
Yeah, only after 2 or 3, I don't remember. You need to buy a specific seat for the baby.
How long is the flight there on average?
The last time that I traveled was 12 hours from São Paulo to Frankfurt.
12 hours, a long time. So the baby has to be
Yeah,
put to sleep. Like, are gonna
yeah,
give him something to
yeah.
sleep? Medicine?
Nothing, only milk.
Only milk. Okay. That helps.
Yeah, that is the thing that we are thinking a lot, because I will not be there with my wife. And we kind of we are thinking that my wife's mother go with her to try help her in the travel, because it's not so easy to travel with the baby, and you need to make bottle, you need to, I don't know, change the baby's diapers and so on. So it's not so easy for one
Also
person.
carry the suitcases because you are moving to a different country. Like, there's a lot of stuff
Exactly.
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 Bringing 2 suitcases and maybe like a baby bag and the baby on your shoulder.
Yeah, we are watching a lot of videos on YouTube from people who travels with babies, and get some types that we can do. We already traveled with the baby once to Recife. Was our first experience on traveling with the baby. Of course, we had a lot of not strange situation, but hard situation, because we didn't figure out how to solve it, but now we kind of learned a little bit more how to travel with the baby. So that first travel was a good
So you
good
had
for
like a trial run
exactly.
just to feel it. Okay, so there are like 6 people watching here. Thanks a lot, guys, for your questions. Who else is here? There's Lucas, Annie, Vanessa. 3 more people. Say hi. 7 people now. Say hi and say where you're speaking from and your name. This live will be saved here on YouTube. I encourage you to subscribe to the channel so you get notifications to future videos. We'll be using this resource more often. It's much more stable than Instagram. And more predictable and everything. And it can be saved and you can watch it later. You can leave your comments and questions for Helton to address. And you can speed up the video. There are some people who are not very, very patient to watch videos. So you speed it up and listen to all the tips and then go do something else. Okay, Lucas saying hi. Who else is here? Vanessa saying, I know something that you can. Wait. I didn't. Okay, I know something that you can to turn the plate sit into a
Yeah,
bag,
yeah,
into a
yeah,
bed.
yeah. I saw that. I don't remember well, but it seems like there is a place in front of your seat you can turn, and in the plan has a specific thing that I have no idea the name, and you put it, you can do like a bed for the baby.
Let's see,
So
using
it's
the
very good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I don't know if all places do the same way. I think it's only specific place. I need to check it out.
I see. There should be a plane just for babies, like, and the pilot should be a
Yeah,
baby. Like,
yeah.
imagine a baby pilot. That'd be great. Okay, guys, so we're gonna be wrapping up for now. So you can share this link with your friends and ask Helton questions afterwards. Thanks a lot, Helton, for joining us. Thanks for being a coffee clubber. Your presence and existence is valued.
Oh,
So
thank you so much. Thank you for
enjoy.
the opportunity to stay here with you, talking a little bit more in English, and of course, learning a little more. This live is good because I will review sometimes and I will see what I did, my mistakes, and of course, try to improve a little bit more.
I see. Yeah, this is one of the initiatives of the Coffee Club, like bringing you to the front seat, to the driver's seat of the car, like being the driver of your learning, the sense of being put in a position in which you have to answer questions, you have to improvise, you have to be pressured and forced to advance in your confidence to speak. Thanks a lot for joining us and send regards to your family.